The sun was dropping low over a quiet stretch of highway outside a small Midwestern town in the USA. The old diner near Route 66 was almost empty, its neon sign buzzing faintly as a group of bikers rolled in, engines roaring like thunder. Leather jackets, heavy boots, and hard faces. These men weren't used to being stared at, and they didn't like surprises. Inside, they took over the back booths, laughing loudly, ordering burgers and black coffee. To them, it was just another stop on the road. Then the door creaked open again. A small girl walked in alone. She couldn't have been more than 12. She wore a faded hoodie, jeans that were slightly too big, and sneakers dusted with dirt. Her dark hair was tied back messily, and she clutched a cheap smartphone in her hand like it was the most important thing she owned. The bikers barely noticed her at first, until she stopped at their table. The laughter died down. One of the bikers, a tall man with a scar across his cheek, frowned. "Hey, kid," he said gruffly, "you lost." The girl looked up at him. Her eyes were calm, too calm for someone her age. "They're watching you," she said quietly. The table went silent. Another biker snorted. "What did you say?" She didn't flinch. "They're watching you right now." A few of the men laughed nervously, assuming it was some kind of prank. "Where's your parents, huh?" one asked. Instead of answering, the girl unlocked her phone. "I tried to warn the last people too," she said. "They didn't listen." Something in her voice made the scarred biker uncomfortable. "Warn about what?" The girl turned the phone toward them, but didn't show the screen yet. "You've been followed since Tulsa," she said. 3 cameras on the highway, 2 drones, 1 unmarked SUV. The bikers exchanged looks. That wasn't funny, that was specific. Scarface leaned back slowly. "Kid, you better explain yourself." The girl nodded and finally held the phone up. On the screen were photos. Clear ones. Photos of the bikers fueling their bikes at a gas station. Another of them riding down the highway, taken from above. One showed them through the diner window from outside. The timestamps were from minutes ago. The color drained from their faces. "Who took those?" one biker whispered. The girl lowered the phone. "I did." Scarface laughed, but there was fear in it. "You expect us to believe you're spying on us?" She shook her head. "Not me, I just see things and I collect them." She leaned in closer and lowered her voice. "You took something that doesn't belong to you." The bikers froze. "What are you talking about?" Scarface asked. Before she could answer, headlights swept across the diner windows. A black SUV slowed outside, engine still running. The girl glanced at it, then back at them. "You should leave," she said softly, "if you still can." The diner door rattled as someone grabbed the handle. And that's when the bikers realized. This wasn't a warning from a child. The diner door swung open slowly. A man in a plain jacket stepped inside, scanning the room with trained eyes. Behind him, another figure lingered near the SUV outside, barely visible through the dusty glass. The atmosphere inside the diner changed instantly, like the air had been sucked out. The bikers reached for their instincts, not their weapons. Something told them this wasn't a situation muscle could solve. The girl slid into the booth beside them, calm as ever. "Too late to run now," she whispered. Scarface swallowed hard. "Who are they?" "People who clean up messes," she replied. "Big ones." The man at the door spoke to the waitress quietly, flashing a badge so fast it was almost invisible. "Federal, not local." The waitress nodded and backed away. One biker cursed under his breath. "This is about the package, isn't it?" The girl's eyes flicked to him. "You were never supposed to open it." Scarface slammed his palm on the table. "We didn't know what it was, we just transported it." The girl pulled her phone out again. This time she showed them a single photo. It was a hard case. Black, military grade, sitting open in a motel room. Inside, rows of encrypted drives, each marked with red warning labels. "Stolen surveillance data," she said, "from people who don't forgive." The bikers stared. Their tough guy masks were gone now. "You're with them?" Scarface asked. She shook her head. "No, I'm with the truth." Outside, the SUV's engine shut off. The man inside the diner raised his voice. "Gentlemen, please remain seated." Scarface stood up slowly. "Listen, officer, we can explain." Before he could finish, the girl spoke again. "Sit down." He did. Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried authority far beyond her age. "You were chosen because no one looks twice at bikers hauling freight across state lines," she continued. "But someone did." One biker looked at her in disbelief. "You?" She nodded. "I find patterns, cameras, roots, shadows my father taught me." "Where is he?" Scarface asked. The girl's jaw tightened. "Gone because of what you carried." Silence fell like a weight. The federal agent approached their table now, flanked by two more who had entered quietly. Handcuffs glinted under the fluorescent lights. "This doesn't have to end badly," the agent said. "Cooperate." Scarface looked at the girl one last time. "What are you, really?" She met his eyes. "Someone who makes sure the right people are seen." As the agents cuffed the bikers, the girl stood up and walked toward the door. Outside, another black vehicle waited, sleeker, quieter. The agent stopped her. "You did good, kid." She didn't smile. "It's not over." She stepped into the night, phone buzzing with new alerts, new images, new shadows. Somewhere else in America, someone else was being watched. And this time they had no idea.